Hey Vivas, welcome to another episode of Viva Aaliyah. We are very excited for the wrap up of 2020, honey. We are kicking her ass out the door and getting the new year in. A lot of things to celebrate this week. One is that doctors are starting to get vaccinated, and so the vaccines are starting to roll out. We love that. I am going to be first in line when they tell me that I can get mine. So let me know if you will be in line to get yours. I hope everybody is a big old yes, ma'am. Other things to celebrate. We have a liquor sponsor for today's show, kind of. And what I mean by that is it is liquor, but it's in a different form. Not necessarily a glass like we always have here. We have an ice cream liquor sponsor today, and that is Proof Ice Cream. So you'll see me throughout the show. You will see me taste testing different flavors, and they'll be coming in randomly. So as soon as we have, Proof Alcohol Ice Cream is our liquor sponsor for today, honey. Thank you, Dominic, for being the fastest producer we have out there. I believe I hear the opening of a container right now. So we'll be telling you about the first flavor and what it tastes like and how it is. There's a few alcohol ice cream brands out there, but from what I've been told, this one is the best. This is, okay, so the first one we're trying is Apple Pie Moonshine. So what's in my glass today? It's actually what's in my carton. And that is Apple Pie Moonshine Ice Cream. We're going to try this. She smells good. Woo! That'll give you a little kick. Okay. I taste the apple pie. I taste the moonshine. It is good. It is creamy. Not grainy at all, which I've had in other alcohol ice creams. Ooh, that is good. So I'm going to hand this back off to my husband so he can try it. And we are going to move into our bartender of the week. So, as you all know, we have a bartender for What's in Your Glass now. And each and every bartender is sending in videos of them making cocktails and narrating that. Why are we doing this? So I've explained this in other shows, but the reason I want to keep doing it is because I need y'all to know that this industry has been hit hard. Not only are we not doing shows as entertainers anymore, but that means bartenders are not bartending. That means servers are not serving. And New York and I believe New Jersey have now shut down indoor dining. I can't say that I don't disagree with it, but it has hurt our community quite a bit. And so we wanted to have those bartenders on because they take care of me during my shows, and now it's my turn to take care of them. So if you have $1, $2, $5, $10, go ahead and tip in. But our bartender of the week making us a holiday cocktail is Chris Koval.
Hi everyone. Hi Aaliyah. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Chris Colville. I'll be your bartender this evening. So tonight's drink is going to be something a little more festive. It's a take on a classic cocktail called a Cosmo, but this is going to have a little twist to make it a little more holiday looking. All right, so it's really simple. You only need 4 ingredients. First is a vodka of your choice, an orange liqueur of your choice. It's just a classic triple sec. A little bit of lime juice, and then of course the twist is normally a Cosmo has regular cranberry juice, but tonight we're going to use a white cranberry juice because that's going to keep it being a white Cosmo. And I actually call this drink "I'm Dreaming of a White Cosmo." You know, just a cute little holiday moment. So let's get started. I've already got 6 cubes of ice in here, so I'm going to use some ice in a shaker. If you don't have a shaker, you can stir it in a glass, give it like 30 stirs, and that's fine too to chill it. I just prefer my martinis shaken, not stirred. So first we're going to do 2 ounces of vodka here. All right, next we're going to do about 3/4 of an ounce of the triple sec. Okay, and then we want to do, depending on how strong you like your martinis and your Cosmos, I like mine on the stronger side. So I'm going to do about 1 ounce of the white cranberry juice, but you could do like 1.5 ounces That works too and makes it more juicy. And then for the lime juice, you only need like maybe a half an ounce at the most. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, so the ice is already in here. Now all you gotta do is take your shaker, put it over, give it a nice shake. Awesome. Now, before we strain into the glass, because it is a holiday cocktail, I like to drink to look as festive as possible with some sort of decoration or garnish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a lime wedge. I'm going to put this around the glass. And then I'm just going to dip this glass in some sugar. Give it a nice frosty look. Just like that. Nice simple frost. Now we're going to go ahead and strain this in the glass. Perfect. And I like to top it off with some sugar frosted cranberries. Super easy to make. You just do equal parts sugar and water, boil it down a little bit. Then you just boil the cranberries in there to make them soft if you like. I didn't make mine soft. I just, did a little bit of hot water, a little bit of sugar, shook them up in that. And then just roll them around in some frosted sugar. Put it on a nice skewer. There you go. Cheers, everyone. Happy holidays. Thanks again, Aaliyah. Love you all the muches. That's good.
All right, thank you to our bartender, Chris Koval. Once again, his Venmo is down below. That is at Christopher Songs. Cash App is $ Christopher Songs. You can go ahead and message him. I'm going to do a cheers to him with the next proof, which is bourbon caramel. Ooh, this one is a little custardy. I will say that the thing about alcohol ice creams is that they melt very fast. So this is much more of a milkshake than it is a ice cream, but it's so good. And boozy, which we want in a boozy ice cream. So that one I will be taking another drink of, if you will. All right. So y'all notice that at the beginning of every show, we talk about, or we have on the screen, our guest for the week. This week's guest is completely different from other guests that we've had on the show. This week's guest is you. You are our guest. So last week we had Viva Fam. This week we have Viva Fan Show. What do I mean by that? I want to wrap up this year in two ways. So this episode is going to be all about you, all about the questions you've sent in over season 1 and season 2 that either we've answered quickly or didn't get to answer. Any questions you have for me about Viva, about me, about our production, go ahead and send those in. If you want to know what my favorite ice cream is, if you want to know how I like my pizza, if you want to know what my inspiration for Viva was, if you want to know why I started it, or if I plan on continuing past the pandemic, let me know all of your questions. They will go answered today. And then next week, we are having our 2020 wrap. So it's Viva Wrap. And we are going to be going from episode 1 of season 1 to episode, that'll be 13. So episode 12, which is this episode of season 2, talking about them. And we're going to be talking about what's in the future, a little bit of what is started, why Viva started is going to be talked about today, but definitely next week we're going to dive into that a little bit more. And then we're going to talk about what's coming up, because we have some amazing guests in 2021 to wrap up season 2. And then season 3 is already has 2 shows booked. So we are very excited about that. I had a question when I was talking to a friend of mine Miss Tajma Stetson, who is one of my closest friends and knows me very well, has been on the show twice or three times now. And the first question was, what was the inspiration for the Viva Aaliyah name? Obviously, Aaliyah is in there, but why Viva? I am of Latinx heritage, and so the Viva is an homage and an ode to that. But it also is kind of a really cool story. So the three of us, so there's Tajma, Molten Decadence, who has also been on the show, and myself, started drag around the same time, and to this day, we are still best friends. We get to chat with each other all the time. We text each other all the time. And when we do get together, it is like no time has passed at all. So one time we were together and we were doing a show, I think in Nebraska, and just chatting, doing something. Molten happened to be on the mic. Oh, it was in Kansas, because Molten was hosting a pageant that I was judging and Tajma was presiding as Miss Gay United States. And she said on the mic, Viva Aaliyah, just out of nowhere as she was bringing me on. And so it kind of has stuck since then. And as we were going through the titles of what the show could be called and why it should be called that, we landed on that, Viva Aaliyah. So Molten Decadence is the creator of the name Viva Aaliyah. That's what's on all my merch. It is what we put up on the screen, and it is everything. It's been my Viva Aaliyah has become my way to connect with people and to promote queer voices in the community and to promote queer adjacent voices in our community and to make sure that we are heard and our stories are heard and told in a way that we want to tell them. So that's what Viva Aaliyah is about. We are going to open our phone lines, which is fun. So the phone line is going to be scrolling at the bottom for the show. If you want to talk to me on air, if you want to ask a question live, you can do that. You can call the number, which is 712-770-5354, and then there's a code you enter. My eyes are getting older, so I had to move forward to see that. But I just want to let you know that there will be a little hold in there. So when you call in, you'll be placed on hold, and then I will bring you on air. Dominic will let me know that you're there for me. But if you have any other questions, go ahead and ask them. I am taking them now. This is your show. We are talking about what you want to. Like I said, Dominic is going to flash other questions that have been asked throughout the seasons on screen, and we will start. So let's get to it. First question. Riddle me this, Batman. Who was your most memorable guest so far? Ooh, that's hard to say because I've had such wonderful guests. I will say I think I had like baby drag feels. I've been doing this for 15 years. I had very baby drag feels in a good way, like little kid butterflies, very Glee, when Jimmy James was a guest on the show. Jimmy James is such an iconic performer and entertainer. But then there was Jennifer Fox, who is a legend. Maya Douglas. I am in the fam now. Paris, France. All of those people, and obviously having my best friends on the show has been such an amazing experience. Olivia Lux kicked us off. She was the number one first guest on Viva Aaliyah, and so it's great to have family on the show. Having my family was an experience that I will never ever be able to recreate and never forget. So lots of memorable guests. I would say Jimmy James was probably the first guest that I was like, because it was such a cool experience, and having them sing Fashionista on the show I could have died. I think I was like tapping my feet and doing this in the background. So yeah, Jimmy James, definitely. Let me know what else you have for me. Happy to answer for you. Favorite outfit that I've worn on the show. I'll do both. Favorite outfit that I've worn on the show and favorite outfit in general. I love all of my gowns. I love gown categories. So that's an easy one for me. But my favorite outfit that I have of all time is probably, I call it my Selena look, but it's actually more Carmen Miranda inspired. I just perform Selena in it more often than not. And so that's probably my favorite outfit. It's this very Latinx inspired Carmen Miranda type of outfit. I also realized I told some friends, I will answer the second half of this because I made it 2 parts. I also told some friends to tune in and text me. And then I remembered I film on my phone. So don't text me. Go ahead and send your question in. I just saw a text message that may have come through. So I will not be able to check my phone, and we're not going to because that's what I'm filming on, and we might cut the broadcast. My favorite outfit overall, though, or that I've worn on the show, I would have to say, I really liked doing the Halloween looks. I thought it was fun. I do this type of makeup all the time. It's what I do at my shows. It's what I do in pageantry. But I really loved the Halloween looks. And so coming up with some of the costumes that went with them that were not necessarily costumes, but out of my collection was really cool. So I would have to say this. That's my little cousin. So hi. Yes, that is the look. That is my all-time favorite look, and that was made by GB Couture out of Kansas City, Missouri. I am so lucky to have that queen in my life and helping me make looks and just be fabulash all over. Tell me about the makeup artist that inspires you the most, both in and out of drag. Ooh, that's a hard one. There have been a lot of legendary makeup artists that have inspired me and have really created like the niche in their own niche in the makeup industry. I look up to Kevin Kwan quite a bit. Pat McGrath is such a legendary makeup artist. But recently I've been really getting into a lot of the drag artists that just have this crazy knack for extreme looks. So there's Ellis Atlantis on Instagram. There is, why can't I think of her? Alexis Stone. I was trying to think of her drag name and not her. Her boy name is Elliot Joseph Loren. But those two are really inspirational to me right now. Elliot is been working with prosthetics quite a bit, which is something I would love to start doing a little bit more. And actually created this huge kind of scandal on the internet about makeup, because started making it look like he himself had gotten quite a bit of plastic surgery and was starting to look like the Lion Lady. And it was quite interesting and went along with it for months. I think it was something like 6 months he went along with it. And so Alexis Stone's makeup was very crazy looking and started looking pitty because of the injections. But it was all prosthetics. And then after those 6 months on a live Instagram, ripped off the prosthetics and everybody went crazy. It was in like the New York Times, I think, at one point. So yeah, they're my current makeup inspirations, but I really take inspiration from everybody I come across, even baby drag queens or starting makeup artists. I think there's something to learn from everybody. So what a pageant answer that was. Let's hear what else you have questions about. And then I'll go to my next question here. What is your favorite show other than your own? Ooh. I'll do like TV show and digital show. So I really enjoy digitally. I really enjoy anything that supports queer voices and is not just, I've done this too. I've done drag shows to make a few bucks, but there's something that's not just a drag show. So I really, I love watching my best friend Tajma Stetson on her Instagram playing clarinet. I think that's a really great release from the world. I actually get to watch it while I paint because it's usually on Saturdays around 3 or 4 p.m. Check out the Instagram, Tajma Stetson. I think Fifi Dubois has a really cool thing going with their like digital Disney trivia. I love that. I think it's something that other people aren't doing. It's a really great idea. It's something that is not, like I said, not just drag shows or drag performances. Fifi is a phenomenal performer and can dance the house down boots, honey. But it's a really cool concept. And I love T.S. Madison digitally and The People's Court. But I would say my favorite show that I watch, I love Schitt's Creek and I love The Golden Girls. I watch them on repeat constantly. And I'm currently binging The Nanny. So those three would have to be up in my top three. I have one here. What is the future of Viva Aaliyah? The future is wide open and ready to just go on the upward trajectory. As you know, we do 22 seasons. We do 22 episodes in a season. We are on season 2 and very close to season 3, oddly. I see us in season 3 taking things and revamping them like we did from season 1 to season 2. I don't think that's going to happen continuously. I don't think every season we're going to change up what we look like. But Dominic and I both have vision. We've pulled in other people for inspiration, and we'll continue to do that. But Dominic and I really have a really clear plan that what our end goal is to have this be a real talk show. We want to be slotted. We want to be able to do it in front of a live audience. I think we've both said to each other that when this happens, we will both not be able to control ourselves and just continue to sob. Dominic's probably going to have to cut to commercial right away because I will be crying when I hear that first applause. But yeah, it's really just growing and telling more queer stories and telling it our own way. I would love to interview more celebrity guests. I have a couple. I can say Michael Musto, who is a phenomenal journalist, queer journalist, is going to be on the show. I have Sherry Vine coming on the show. We are, we're going to do our makeup episode. Thank you, my friend Paul Morris, who has been rescheduled 3 times. This is the 3rd, who's going to come on the show and is an international vocalist. He will be actually in the US coming up. So hopefully, maybe, you never know, we will do a live interview. But yeah, I see quite a bit for us. I want to be in front of audiences. I want to see you. I want to travel and not do the show in one location. I want to do it in your hometown. And let's do it. Let's make Viva Aaliyah the next talk show and be able to have guests here in front of us. I read from there, so you're up. Let me know what you want to know. Favorite gay bar to perform in? That's hard. Ooh, we have another proof. Pistachio rum. I'm going to take a bite and then answer the question. Pistachio rum. While I think about this, favorite gay bar to perform in? That one will make you grow hair on your chest. It's so good, but the bourbon is much different than the rum. Woo! So good. Pistachio rum proof ice cream. Okay, favorite gay bar to perform in. I love a gay bar that has a good dressing room, and that just has good people in it. Some of my favorite, I would say in the top 2 have been so far. Hamburger Mary's Kansas City has been such an amazing venue to perform in. And I loved performing at Therapy. I am so sad that Therapy is not open. Hopefully, after the pandemic, the owner will be able to come back stronger and reopen. But I really, really love performing at Therapy. That's here in New York City. And it was my home. It's where I did all of my benefit shows to support our Youth Diversity Scholarship. Viva Aaliyah is going to get a lot more involved in that coming up. But it's where I hosted a lot of the chorus functions, where I did my AIDS Walk show every year. And it's definitely missed already, even though we're not really allowed to be doing shows in bars. I can't imagine my life without that in it when we come back. So definitely Therapy. Hamburger Mayor's Kansas City. Those are my favorite two. What's up? What's next? Throw one at me. What can the world look forward to in 2021? Ooh, that's a very general question. For us, like I said, we are just on an upward trajectory. We really want Viva Aaliyah to be everything that it can be for all of you. I'm sure we're going to be adding more features that are audience friendly, more games, more notice on who the upcoming guests are so that y'all can prepare for your favorite episodes. There is one thing that I didn't mention. You can join, if you look at any of my social media, you'll see my link tree. So my Facebook, which most of you are on, my Instagram, my TikTok has my link tree. Right now, our YouTube channel does not have 100 followers. We need to get to 100 followers to make it youtube.com/Leah Martinez Queen, like everything else. So hopefully 2021 will bring that. But the reason I'm saying that is we can do more on YouTube than we can on Facebook. We want to have musical guests. We want to have people perform songs if they need to. I can't have Jimmy James back on the show on Facebook. We have to stop the Facebook feed and then go over to YouTube or another platform like Twitch, which is also on there, that allows us to do those types of performances. And so what we are offering in 2021 is much more content on our YouTube channel that you will not be able to find on any of my other social media platforms. I put a lot of my stuff in my Instagram stories. I put a lot of stuff on Facebook still. So there will be a lot more content on our YouTube channel that you will not be able to get anywhere else. There's going to be music videos. I'm going to do some live singing. I have a couple other ideas that are brewing right now on the back end that are maybe not me in drag, but a couple of things are going to be on there. It's going to be a lot of fun, so look forward to that. I think as a world, we can look forward to starting to normalize things again with this vaccine. I'm very hopeful that that's something that we can all look forward to. Please also go get vaccinated when it's allowed. This is, I think, the best title for 2021 that we can think of is actually the title of Dominic's book. You can go check it out on Amazon. This is not about you. It's not about us individually. It's about us collectively. So this is not about you. It's about the world in general. We all need to get vaccinated. We all need to be smart about being outside and in groups and all of those things. We need to be wearing our masks. Honey, it's cold and flu season. We had our first snow in New York, and it is time to just be smart and stop pointing fingers and stop being rude to each other and just do what we need to do. Stay inside, wear your mask, get that vaccine when it comes out. So that's what we can look forward to in 2021, starting to normalize things again. Any more questions? Go ahead and send them in. You can send them in the comments below, or you can talk on the air. Dominic will let me know if we have somebody who wants to chat with me one-on-one. I guess not one-on-one because all of you will be listening. What's up? Any dating advice during these COVID times? Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do things digitally. I think it does add a little bit of mystery. It does add a little bit of barrier because you're not able to get into the sense of active touch or like people's persona or vibe that they're giving off necessarily. But keep on those apps if you are looking to date. Make those digital dates. Cook together. Do a little like, I'm going to get these ingredients. You should too. Let's cook the same meal and see how it turns out. You can have a bottle of wine together. Send a gift that you can watch your date open. A box of chocolates. A little something that you can see over the Zoom. But the faster that this goes back into the last thing that I just answered, the sooner we take these precautions and are not trying to meet new people out and about in the world, the sooner we can get back to actually doing that. And that's what I want to. I think in my friend group, probably the one that was like, let's go out, let's go drinking. Or that was probably Dominic and me. But we were the ones who definitely wanted to stay out until 2 to 4 a.m. And we can go back to that when it's time, as long as we're all taking these precautions. So dating advice is be smart, be yourself, show them who you are as much as you can through the digital world. I have another question here that I can read, which is, what sort of therapy / comfort has making Viva accomplished for you and viewers? So I can't answer that necessarily for my viewers. I hope that telling queer stories in a way that makes sense, in a way that we want to tell them, is therapeutic, because we are telling our own stories. We are able to get our own messages out there. And it's hopefully therapeutic for people who aren't queer who are watching to see things that they haven't seen before and get an insight into a world that they may not have known. And so it's therapeutic because when we hear the truth about stories, we get the right history. And so we're seeing things in the right way finally. For me, I'm an entertainer. I love being on stage. I work my day job in human resources, but my passion is always the stage. Singing, dancing, acting. This is another way for me to present in front of you, is another way for me to be on a stage and feel the love. Having comments come in is a way for me to feel love right now. And so I want more of that, and it is therapeutic for me. I mean, sometimes I'll admit today I was like, I don't want to get in makeup, but I did want to talk to all of you. And so we have our days, we all have our things we go through, but it's definitely a therapeutic thing for me to be in front of you and to have connection with people that are across the country or not near us. Jaden Black, hey honey, how are you? I haven't talked to you in quite some time. I actually think I watched your live a little earlier. You were getting ready for a show this morning with Hershey. Hope you are well. Love that little icon, that butterfly look. That's beautiful. So yeah, send in any questions. Party on! Yes, Proof Ice Cream. Come on. Kim Bowman. We can put any and all comments through if we want to, Dominic, as they come in. But yeah, it's just been such a crazy year. And so we needed something that took a break from thinking about being inside all the time. Because I am inside. I don't go anywhere really. Did once, was a mistake. Now I'm back. And still quarantining. What always sounds like a good idea at the time, but rarely is? Alcohol. No, alcohol can be fun, but it can also be, as you get older, it is rarely good in the morning. Hangovers become more normal and more frequent, and you could have one glass of something and still have that. Or if you have the smallest bladder in the world, you could be up all night having to go to the bathroom. So that I would say alcohol is definitely one of those things. That is always sounds like a good idea, but is maybe not in the long run. Let's see. I have a question here. What gets me most excited preparing for Viva episodes? Creating looks, definitely. I love creating looks, but also preparing for the guests. I love researching what those people have done. And if I already know, I want to know more. I knew the year Maya Douglas had won Continental, but there were other pageants I didn't know the year on. I didn't know all of her kids at the time. I learned about Jimmy James when I was preparing for that episode. Even my friends, I like to do a little internet stalking, and that's fun for me. But I do think that preparing the looks has been like right up there. I love taking things I already have and making them new or embellishing them in a way that makes them look completely different from what they looked like before. I have been very blessed with my current collection of wigs and jewelry and costumes that I have to not have worn the same thing on the show yet. And I hope to continue that through the rest of season 2 and into season 3. I sew a lot of my own stuff, so that's very helpful. So yeah, I think creating the looks and researching the guests are right up there. I want to do more panels. I loved doing the conversion therapy panels. We've already talked about having those friends of ours back on and talking about like what has life been maybe post the show. They got to talk about a lot or air some of the things that they wanted to. And so I know some of them have messaged me, and Dominic and I keep in contact with all of them, that they've had responses from that and that they are, they've been told they've touched lives. And so I think that being said, I enjoyed researching for them. I just went off on a tangent, of course. So what other questions do we have, my dears? Very excited about this episode. What is Aaliyah's hangover cure? Ha! Chinese food, Coca-Cola, and not having to go to work the next day. No, I've done, back in the day, I used to drink Pedialyte. I think it tastes gross. I don't know. Lots of water. Drink lots and lots and lots of water. Keep down what you can. Yeah, I think that's it. Grease is usually a hangover's best friend. Or, if you're feeling frisky, hair of the dog. Just start the next day. Do you prefer being warmed when you're too cold, or being cooled when you're too hot? Warmed when I'm too cold. I hate the cold. I don't like it. I want it to go away. I want to be in a tropical location, or at least like Los Angeles. I've told my husband I wanted to move to the island of Curacao because I love it there. He told me no, but I hate being cold. And so I would much rather be warmed. I like that question, actually. But I do not mind being hot. There are obviously times when it is too hot. Even somebody who likes the heat can think it's too hot. But I don't mind being warm. So definitely warmed when I'm cool. Let me know what else. And once again, if you want to call in, the number is scrolling down at the bottom. What's something weird that Aaliyah recommends everyone trying at least once? What do I recommend that everybody try at least once? I'm a big believer in trying food at least once. I don't like shrimp. I don't like I think I've actually got past the lobster and crab, so I don't like shrimp really. But I don't like calamari. I've tried both multiple times. So I always recommend that people try food at least once. I think just saying you don't like something is, in my opinion, a little bit ignorant. So just try it once. Get over it. If you don't like it, spit it out. Put it in a napkin. Or swallow quickly. What else you got for me? Anybody who wants to comment in, what we're doing today on this episode is talking to you. This is the fan show. And we want to know your questions for me. What you want to know about me, what you want to know about Viva Aaliyah, what you want to know. Maybe you don't know my husband's name. It's Chip, by the way. I answered that question right now. Maybe you don't know what I do during the day. Maybe you don't know what my husband does. Maybe you don't know what my address is. I'm not giving you that one. Who is the most humble person you know? Not me. The most humble person I know is probably my grandmother. My dad's mom is one of the nicest and most giving people. She doesn't speak out to people. I mean, she speaks out, but she doesn't really contradict people. she's never been mean to anybody I know, and she is just the sweetest lady that I have ever met in my entire life, and is somebody who I look up to, and thank the Lord she's still with us. But yeah, I would say either my grandmother or my other grandmother, which is my husband's grandmother, Nana. I would say it's either my grandmother or my dad's mom or my mother-in-law's mom. There we go. Yeah. Those are the two most humble people I know in my life, and would probably lay down their entire existence for anybody that needed. What's the most unpleasant sounding word? Words don't bother me like that, really. But I think most people think the word moist is bad. I don't know. Are there words? My husband is in the room with me. Are there words I don't like people saying? I know when she sees me, if she's watching, she's going to smack me. But my mom doesn't like the word snatch. I think that's funny. She will hit me if she sees me anytime soon. But yeah, I think moist is probably the most common word that people don't like. Oh, I do remember when I was talking to Tajma Stetson earlier today, she said, if I were to go on RuPaul's Drag Race, who would I play in Snatch Game? That's a good question. I have always been a fan of the nanny and Fran Drescher, and I can kind of do her voice, Ma. And so Mr. Sheffield, I would do Fran Drescher. I love her. I think she's wonderful, and I think that show was brilliant for her. She basically played herself on The Nanny, just as a nanny. So yeah, I would be Fran Drescher on RuPaul's Drag Race, should I ever audition and go on. When you were a kid, what movie did you watch over and over and over and over again? What did I watch a lot? When I was really young, I used to watch Five Goes West a lot. I loved that movie as a kid. As I got older and, was still in the closet, I loved watching the Spice World movie. So like a young teen, a middle schooler, I was obsessed with Spice World, the movie. Now, I know I didn't ask, but now my favorite movie is My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and I can quote every word from it, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Nia Vardalos is brilliant. What would your warning label say if every person was required to have one? Mine would say, has an extremely long fuse, but once it's burned out, I black out and you die. That's it. So I can't say I'm the most patient person, but I have a very long fuse with people, and it can go and go and go and go and go. But once it's gone, there's no coming back, basically. And usually if my fuse goes, it's because somebody has insulted a friend or a family member or somebody that I love, and it's not necessarily something that's directed towards me. What makes someone a good person? Authenticity? No, that's not necessarily true, because you can be authentically horrible. Kindness? I don't know, that's hard. I think somebody who has love in their heart and is able to share that love in one way or another, whether that's friendship or family or with a significant other, that makes somebody that's like a part of being a good person. But that's a really good question. What do any of you think being a good person is? Let me know. Also, once again, if you want to ask me a question, we will be going on maybe for another 15 minutes, maybe for another 10 minutes. We'll see how many questions are coming in. But what do you think makes a good person? I wanna know from you out there. I know people are watching because I can see it. So go ahead and message in and let us know. If everything in your house had to be one color, what color would I choose? Ooh. Crystal. Everything would be crystal. That's not really a color, but that's what I choose. Diamond. Who is the luckiest person I know? Who is the... Actually, no lie, the luckiest person I know is my boss at work. She has survived. She lived in near Fidei during 9/11. Her roommate closed her window like 10 minutes, or no, 5 minutes, she said, before the first plane crashed. And so the only thing that saved them from having worse lung conditions was that window being closed. And they never closed that window. My boss said not even in the winter. She has lived through that. She has lived through the hurricane when it came, living in Fidei, and then now we're in a pandemic. So I think she is quite a lucky person to still be alive and kicking and doing it well. So probably her. Unless me. I'm a lucky person. I have a lot of people who love me and help me with my life. So how different is the social environment for kids in school now versus 10 or 20 years ago? Are you trying to read my age, first of all, with that question? I can actually answer this kind of. My brother is still in high school. So now, I mean, there's not much of a social environment. They don't go to school as long as we did, or even as long as people did 2 years ago. But I do think that you hear stories now of kids coming out in school. You hear stories about people being able to be out in public, or being trans and comfortable in their own bodies. And that's something that wasn't around when I was in school 10 or 20 years ago. I couldn't have imagined that. I was very closeted in high school, and before that, because I went to school in a farm town. We actually had, my sister brought this up, I think on the show that they were on, we actually had a ride your tractor to work, or ride your tractor to school day. That was an actual thing that our entire school put on. If anybody's watching from Michigan, I went to school in Michigan, and I'm sure you can relate because Michigan is basically all cornfields. But yeah, I couldn't imagine having been out in high school. I came out the end of my senior year, and I know that kids are fine now. I think kids were much more conservative back then also because of what their parents were putting into their heads. And now my younger brothers, one just graduated recently and one is about to graduate. Both are very liberal minded, even though they grew up in a conservative environment. And so that's something that's definitely new to me, and something I would not have seen coming. So a few more questions and then we will round out the show. What would be the worst thing to put into a piñata? I don't know why, but the first thing that I thought of was like dog poop. Right? It'd be bad. The worst thing to put into a piñata, hot food. Like spaghetti, beans, mac and cheese, those types of things. Nothing but candy should go into a piñata. Don't even try it, people, or toys. What snack can you just not get enough of? I wonder if Chip can answer this. Gummies. Yeah, gummies. I love sour gummies. Specifically, now my favorite things are the Haribo to the snakes. One is sweet and one is sour. I much prefer the sour one over the sweet one, but they're connected. They're two-headed snakes. So yeah, I really love gummies. I can eat gummy bears, and gummies all the time is probably something that is helping me not lose my COVID weight. All right, we will take like 3 more questions, and then we are going to, but before we do that, I have another Proof flavor. Thank you once again to Proof Ice Cream for being our alcohol sponsor of the show. Oh, I didn't even read this. This is Mocha Chocolate Moonshine. I have liked the moonshine so far. So, Vanna White. Ooh. I will. Mmm. Ooh, that one is good. Yeah. I have a feeling, excuse me, after the show, that my husband and I will be polishing off this card. Once again, Proof Ice Cream. We are trying the Mocha Chocolate Moonshine flavor. Proof Ice Cream is, I believe, out of South Carolina. But you can order them online, and they are shipping. So I definitely don't think you can get anything from anywhere for Christmas now, but you can for the new year. So look out for 2021 and Proof Ice Cream. They're doing good things, big things, honey, and their ice cream is delicious. Okay, 2 more questions, and then we will round out the show. What is my go-to holiday lip sync? I know every drag queen does All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. I like it, but I prefer mixes, and so I have one that mixes that with some of Christina's stuff. I love performing ballads or slow songs. I know that's not the actual definition of a ballad in real world, but in drag world, a slow song is a ballad. And I really love Kristen Chenoweth's album. She has a mashup of Sleep Well, Little Children and What a Wonderful World. And I love performing that, just glistening with jewels, just in a big ball gown and doing my thing on stage. I really, 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 really love it. So, yeah, I would say that. Kristen Chenoweth, What a Wonderful World, and Sleep Well, Little Children, Sleep Well, Little Children mashed up. That's probably my number one, but I love mixes overall. One more. Dominic, you did that on purpose. Okay, so I'm going to give the background to this question, and then I will answer it the way that I answered it. So, in pageantry, which I am very proficient in, wow, and efficient. But anyway, for the top 5 contestants at the end of a pageant, they will typically ask Q&A. And that is kind of to separate the winner from the not winners. And in most systems, you get different questions per contestant. And one year, when I was competing at Miss Gay United States, I believe, or it was one of the prelims, the question asked of me was, why? That's it. Just why. My first instinct was, why not? But I said something along the lines of, because I am committed to this system, I've been committed to competing in this system, I'm committed to the growth of this system and the family that it encompasses. And so without me, there wouldn't be the next legacy of this system, which is true, because I carried on my own legacy just like all my sisters in that pageant. Currently, Miss Sabrina White is the reigning title holder, and she will be on the show coming up. But anyway, I've had a great time with you. If there are any other comments that are coming through, Dominic, go ahead and put them through. I can round out the show with reading those comments off. But other than that, I've had such an amazing year with you. I started the show next week. We are doing our Viva 2020 wrap. I started this show in March. I did 1 episode without Dominic, big mistake. And then Dominic came on board and started helping us make this show what it is today. So I can't thank Dominic enough. But next week we are talking about episode 1, season 1, all the way to episode 12, season 2. And we are going to talk about what's coming up for us. I'm going to name off some guests, and we're going to make a cheers to 2020 leaving us and 2021 coming into our lives. On Monday, for those of you who believe in astrology and astronomy and all of those things, it is supposed to be a huge energetic day. And it's supposed to be a time when we can bring positivity into our life. So if you believe in that, manifest some wonderful things. Think about the things you want in your life in 2021 and going forward. And on Monday, December 21st at 9:02 a.m. and 2:36 p.m., go ahead and bring those things. Do something on the positive side of bringing those things into your life. If that's starting a bank account for your next endeavor in life, if that's purchasing something that you've wanted and that is going to grow over the next, I think it's like 5 decades is how long this is supposed to last. So this energy is supposed to last. So bring some positivity into your life. Please be safe. Please take care of yourself. Please wear your masks. I know Christmas is next week. We will have our show after Christmas has happened. I know Hanukkah is happening and has happened. And sorry, I'm horrible with my timing. I know that there are holidays that are happening and people want to be home with their families. But the best thing you can do for your family is be safe and take care of yourself. Get those vaccines when they come out. Be in line. I love you all. Thank you for making my life so much more fulfilled with this and tuning in each week. I will see you next week, December 26th, for our wrap-up of 2020. And Viva Aaliyah. Cheers.